Blog Talk Radio.
I'm gonna testify. He taught me how to overstand. to testify what Jah has done for I.
Glory to the Most High Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, light of the world, is His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. Protect my son David as he travel this lonely path. Steer my son far from bloody men who surround him with opinions sharp as daggers. Bless him with a vision to distinguish friends from foes. Bless his listeners with overstanding and patience. Remind the critics that all judgment belongs to thee. May the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy presence, Selah.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
I'm going to testify.
Yeah. Before David Bathsheba, before Solomon Makeda, before Moses Zipporah, Vashti come before Esther, Jah come from Ethiopia. Anything them prime minister within the aptitude of Jah, Omri Ethiopia, in a archangel Michael, not matter how much blood the dragon them cannot reach the emperor. Confound them Muta Baruka, the holy mountain of Luna. Give away heritage, Fewa, as better Israel Falasha, as every stroke of amnesia. Now the youth are chant Rasta. Family can't buy them no car, so them a innovate raga. Yeah. Before David Bathsheba, before Solomon Makeda, before Moses Zipporah, Vashti did come before Esther, Jah come from Ethiopia. Anything them prime minister within the aptitude of Jah, Omri Ethiopia, in a archangel Michael, no matter how much clap them dragon yeah. Here and again, study the earth and figure out Mamala. To disobedience in a ya, I kill out the earth because of body used by Lucifer. Spark Rastaman burn the chalawa. Give smoke of half a and to Jah. Nobody got jack bong your heart in a rank that you project to your brother. Here and again, as I was winter left the summer far, I see the vision of the act of Jah. A flaming sword of fire. Figure the garden equator. The whole world this generation, yeah. I got sight up the emperor. Still I say I give I no power over. Mental illusion in a red draw. Ranja Sativa ya in the car. Rastaman a ride ya in a canter. I am like stand up whenever. Them try to crush ya and step over. So they want to in a my gear. Please don't bring that over ya. These are right people leave I share. Cause if I share I want to share. Bathsheba, before Solomon Makeda, before Moses, before Vashti come before Esther, Jah come from Ethiopia. Anything them Prime Minister within the aptitude of Jah, Omri Ethiopia, ya in a Archangel Michael, no matter much God them dragon confound them Muta Baruka. Hey, this is I bongo over here, without Vatican interfere, to keep the precept worldly clear, without scatter out here and there, without stray out here and there. For the love I keep Jah near, for the truth I keep appearing. Yeah, try make David Kappa disappear in the field, tie out the mirror, and still be seen to so long here, so aggressive out of fear. What does people learn from Delilah? She should keep the innocence of Dinah, and them still a fight over. Before David Bathsheba, before Solomon Makeda, before Moses Zipporah, Vashti come before Esther, Jah come from Ethiopia. Anything that Prime Minister within the aptitude of Jah, Omri Ethiopia, Jah in a Archangel Michael, no matter how much blood them dragon can't touch the emperor, them cannot reach the emperor, confound them Muta Baruka. Rastafari.
Kiman, Baba Kiman, Kiman, Kiman at the door running gun. Kiman at the door running gun. Up as I and I, Kiman, Baba Kiman. Nicodemus, Nicodemus, Demus, Kiman at the door running gun.
God.
sorrow on an isle in life's dark sea. My child, I've come to save you. Step on board and follow me. Tis the old ship of life, ship of Zion, ship of life. Tis the old ship of life, ship of Zion, ship of life. Tis the old ship of life, ship of Zion.
Daddy, are you alright?
I'm fine.
People are looking at you.
One morning, I got on board. Rest with Jesus, Deacon.
Thank you, sister, for the soothing truths in that old hymn. Amen. Safe with Jesus, the captain.
No, he is.
Emperor Haile Selassie has survived crises few modern leaders experience. The brutal conquest of his country was the most painful. When he appealed for help to the League of Nations, he spoke not only for Ethiopia, but for the integrity of all small nations. The world turned its back and drifted into a second world war.
To the promised man, you made me. To the promised man, you made me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To the promised man, you made me.
Ben Yehuda, man.
I will love you the best I can.
Check
yeah.
it. Look, covenant. I'm loving him. Blood of the lamb on the doorpost. Covered it. I'm only loyal to one God, one government. Soon as somebody say ungod, I'm cutting them. Pen mighty, sword weary. Thank you for instilling in me a God fearing. Hard bearing the cross, give me a strong spirit. Edge dweller a few times, I done gone near it. Promises, promises on promises. His promises are forever, care what a diamond says. Either honor your highness or do what Simon says. It's real simple, I'm crippled, just trying to find my legs. Running in this marathon, night shift, day shift, don't shift the paradigm. Why a father gotta beg the court for parent time? It's okay, she gon' fall. Babylon, Babylon, giddy up. I give whatever I can, but I'm never giving up. He said he'll give us some land that we can divvy up. And it's flowing with milk and honey, so get a cup. Hey, get a share of your inheritance. And I ain't talking about Charles Schwab or Merrill Lynch. Overstand that your Elohim is errorless. I hope you catch what I'm saying, Julian Edelman.
You're gonna throw weapons to the ground, and then you're gonna lie down. Do it. The Lord is our light and our salvation. Of whom shall we fear? Throw your weapons to the ground.
Patriots, but only to the patriarchs. We talking Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, boss. Papa was a rolling stone. Mama took an apron off before I found the Lord. I was on the corner breaking laws. Major flaws, he kept his promise still. Now that I know that I'm Hebrew, we got a common will. Sing unto him a new song, Johnny Gill. Hey, if Trump don't endorse me, maybe Obama will. Now let's get into these politics. Pharaoh gon' be Pharaoh, common sense. He gon' spit his little game, typical common pimp. And it'll be fun and games until the condom rips. Fornication, under the crown. In the holiest way, I ain't fucking around. He's my stronghold, He buckles me down, and I keep singing his praises till I'm tucked in the ground. Hey, they say y'all saints never die. Praying one day I get my credentials verified. Here to bring wheelchairs to the paralyzed. My brother's keeping my sisters an extra pair of eyes. Hey, gotta look out for the Hobbarine. Living life amongst the dead. Halloween, King David slaying giants, Jolly Green. Surely goodness and mercy forever follow me.
The Lord is the strength of our lives. Of whom shall we be afraid? When the wicked, even our enemies and our foes, came upon us to eat up our flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though our host shall encamp against us, our hearts will not fear. The war shall rise against us, and then we will be.
Psalm 82.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty, the mighty.
אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל.
He judgeth among the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods.
בקרב אלוהים ישפוט.
How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations, 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 inherit all.
Something about this generation, they're not like us, they love to fuss. Something about this generation, they're often dangerous. Something about this generation, their attitude stinks, they won't get far. Something about this generation, when we say peace, they say war. People often lose control for material things. They sell their souls, blinded by vanity. See their best friends as enemies, not remembering the love from His Majesty. Oh, something about this generation, they're not like us, they love to cuss. Something about this generation, often dangerous. Something about this generation, their attitude stinks, they won't get far. Something about this generation, when we say peace, they say war. Sticky, sticky situation, I see. Enemies on the rise, brutal and evil. Devils in the sky, they curse, they fight, war is terror they play. Big guns, long knives, they shedding blood every day. Something about this generation, they're not like us, they love to fuss. Something about this generation, they're often dangerous. Something about this generation, their attitude stinks, they won't get far. Something about this generation, when we say peace, they say war. Oh, hey, yeah. Help your brother out and don't delay. Please help him today, for he can change from his evilest ways. Oh, something about this generation. They're not like us, they love to cause. Something about this generation. They're often dangerous. Oh, something about this generation. Their attitude seems so they won't respond.
Oh, our Father, who art in Zion, always be thy name. Thy kingdom come on earth, thine will be done on earth. Always be thy name.
so you can see it when it comes. Look to the path of righteousness, for such is the way, the way. follow behind to fight corruption. We've got to endure intention, abuse, and deceit. Our lives will be dedicated to the Almighty One. Then He is the Father of creation. But we go up every day taking this for granted. Never seem to remember Him until times of great need. We'll be dwelling on the righteous path to Jah, making one step while He guides the other. Leaving this world takes strength and vigor. We've got to obey to proceed. We will break our steps for the worst of time. We will go, we will follow behind to fight corruption. We've got to endure intention, abuse, and
sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong. Shabbat strong. Shabbat strong. Shabbat strong.
These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers. Each one was for the house of his fathers, 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 for the house of his fathers. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel, 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 with all that were able to go forth to war and go forth to war in Israel, forth to war in Israel, forth to war in Israel, with all that were able to go forth to war and go forth to war in Israel, 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 to war in Israel.
DJ Rescue, I saw your body.
We are soldiers in the army. We are soldiers in the army. Hear that? I say, foundation in the only place. Rastaman with a run a trace. Heal up the king of kings with grace. Give Jah all your thanks and praise. That is my fortune and my fame. Never sell out just to attain. Loyally and I remain. I suggest you do the same.
Selassie is our master, yeah, for the enemies are confounded.
These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers.
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong. Shabbat strong. Shabbat strong. Shabbat Shalom, send it salam, and here, Shema Israel, Sema Rastafari. For this Rastafari sabbatical study, this Shabbat strong, we begin the fourth book of Moshe, of Moses, Muse, called in the English Numbers, the Sefer Bamidbar, the Cipher in the Wilderness, the book that's known as Numbers, fourth book of Moshe. So here, beginning the fourth book, the 34th degree here of I sabbatical studies, this Shabbat strong, the fourth book of HaTorah, Jah's direction, instructions. It's also the name of the first reading in the Hebrew, Bamidbar. Bamidbar, translated in the wilderness, in the desert, comes from the first words of the first verse, which reads, Waidaberi Yahweh il Moshe b'midbar Sinai. B'midbar Sinai. And he who be, we be, and Hashem spoke, Yod-Heh Weh-Heh, to Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai, Numbers chapter 1, verse 1. Now, as we know that the English title of the book is Numbers, derived from the Koine, the Septuagint, LXX version of HaTorah, the book of Numbers. It tells the story, the narratives of the B'nai Israel, the sons of Israel, the children of Israel, their trek, their trotting through the wilderness on their way to the promised land. Their failure at the edge of the land, and the subsequent 40 years, 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. It also concludes with the narrative of the second generation's triumph over the first Canaanite resistance, the Afro-Canaanite resistance. Now the book, it ends with the B'nai Yisrael, the Israelites, they're poised on the edge of the Canaan, the Canaanu, the Afro-Canaanite, ready to take their inheritance. Woven in the midst of these narratives is a significant amount of, we can say, legal and lawful material. Now, the first reading from Bamidbar and the 34th reading from HaTorah, it begins with a census of the tribes of Israel and the Levitical families just prior to the departure, moving forward, Sinai, from Sinai. Yes, Rastafari. Also important theme in this book, portion commentary, the house of the Father. But make I begin, B'Shem Ha'ab, Ha'bein, Ruach, Ha'kadosh, Yahweh Ahad. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, He who be, who He be, the one. So here, for this Shabbat Bamidbar. Send that Midre Beda in the world Amharic. So here, for the Hebrew first words, for the Aliyot, the offering up, anaphora, the sacrifice, word, sound, power. May the words of I mouth and the meditation of I heart be humbly acceptable in He who be, who He be, His Almighty, His Majesty sight, Hashem Yeshua. So here we begin. Fourth book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Numbers, chapter 1. Chapter 1, the order of the hosts, of the armies, the hosts. First item, Moshe's command to number Ha'am, his command to number the people. For the Rishon Aliyah, for the first Aliyah. Daber Yahweh el Moshe be'midbar Sinai be'ohel mo'ed be'echad la'chodesh ha'sheni ba'shana ha'shenita le'etz'atam me'eretz Mitzrayim le'mor. And He who be, who He be, Yod Hey Weh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hashem spake to Moshe Bamidbar Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, Be'ohel Moed, in the tent of meeting, on the first day of the second month moon, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Mitzrayim, of Egypt. Lemor, say. Seu et Rosh kol data b'nei Israel. Take ye the sum, lift up the head. Seu et Rosh, lift up the head. Take ye the Ras, the Rosh, the sum of all the congregation of the B'nai Yisrael, of the sons, the children of Israel, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, Abot, with the number of their Shemot names, every male Zakar by their poles, by their skulls. From 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Thou, the I, and Aharon shall number them by their armies, and with you there shall be a man of every tribe. Every one head, Rosh, Ras, of the Beit, of the house of his fathers, patriarchs. And these are the Shemot, the names of the men that shall stand with you, of the tribe of Reuben, Elizur, son of Shedeur, of Simeon, Shelumiel, the son of Zori Shaddai, of Yehuda, Nahshon, the son of Aminadab, of Yissachar, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon, of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Amihud, of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur, of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, of Dan, Ahiezer, the son of Amishadai, of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Okran, of Gad, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan. These were the renowned of the congregation, the aggregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, patriarchs, Rosheh, Rases, heads of thousands in Israel. And Moshe, where Aharon and Aaron took these men which were expressed by their Shemot names, and they I assembled all the congregation, aggregation together on the first day of the second month, moon. They declared their pedigrees after their families by the house, the Beit of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their poles, by their gulgulot, their skulls. As Yahweh, who he be, Jehovah commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the Midbar of Sinai, the wilderness of Sinai. And here for the Sheni Aliyah, the second Aliyah for this Shabbat Bamidbar, this Senbet Midre Beda. We have at verse 20, the Sheni Aliyah, the second Aliyah. Why B'nai Reuben B'Kor Yisrael Toladotama le Misha Pechotama le Beita Abotama be Mispara Shemota le Gula Gelotama Kola Zakara Mia Bena Esarima Shana wa Ma'ela Kola Yotz Eba. Here at verse 20 for the Sheni, the second Aliyah, offering up anaphora for this Shabbat Bamidbar, and the children of Reuben, Yisrael's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, their patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, by their poles, by their gulgulotam, their skulls. Every zakar, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuven, were 46,500. Of the children of Simeon, Simon, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, patriarchs, those that were numbered of them according to the number of the Shemot, the names, by their gurgulot, by their skulls, every male, zakar from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. Of the children of God, by their generations, after their families, by the house, the Beit of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650. Of the children of Judah, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Yehuda, of Judah, were 314,600. Of the children of Yissachar, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their patriarchs, fathers, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Yissachar, were 55,400. Of the children of Zebulun, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. Of the children of Joseph, namely, of the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their patriarchs' fathers, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Of the children of Benjamin, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, their patriarchs, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. Of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the Beit, the house of their patriarchs' fathers, according to the number of the Shemot, the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 302,700. of the children of Asher by their generations, after their families, by the bait of their patriarchs, house of their fathers, according to the number of the Shemot names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Of the children of Naphtali, throughout their generations, after their families, by the bait, the house of their fathers, patriarchs, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400. These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house, the bait of his fathers, his patriarchs. So were all those that were numbered of the B'nai Yisrael, the sons, the children of Israel, by the bait, the house of their patriarchs, their fathers, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Yisrael. Even all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. But the Levites, however, the Lewim, the Lewawian, after the tribe of their fathers, patriarchs, were not numbered among them. For the Yahweh, he who be, had spoken to Moshe, Lemor, saying, only thou, the eye, shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the B'nai Yisrael, among the children of Israel, the sons of Israel. But thou shalt appoint the Lewim, the Levites, the Lewawian, over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister to it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Lewim, the Lewawian, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Lewim, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh near shall be put to death. And the B'nai Yisrael, the sons, the children of Israel, shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their hosts. But the Lewim, the Lewawian, the Levites, shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation, the aggregation of the B'nai Yisrael, the sons, the children of Israel. And Lewim, the Levites, shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony. And the B'nai Yisrael, the sons, the children of Yisrael, the man who sees the true good, the true God, did according to all that the Yahweh, he who be, commanded Moshe. So did they.
These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers. Each one was for the house of his fathers,
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong.
Yes, not that you are what your father is. Not that you are what your father is. Here's where many of the Israelite camps like ISUPK and others
derived from this Torah reading and feeding here, picking up with the fourth book of Moshe, known as Bamidbar in the Hebrew, in the wilderness, though it's pointed as Bemidbar, in a wilderness, in wilderness of Sinai. Anyway, right here, picking up Numbers is where this so-called doctrine comes up. You are what your father is. But each one, according to what the Torah says, is for the what? Is for the house. For the house, stand for the house. So the whole context of what it really is talking about here is grossly misunderstood, as well as the consequences later on. It was the men of war that had got bummed out and everything when the lying reports came back and he was scared to fight. And the Lord says that he didn't suffer the men of war to enter in to the land and everything. And it's interesting what happens later on, but here's where it begins. It begins right here with a kind of a census, a counting of those who were supposed to be the strike force to go in there and to lay claim for the Beit Yisrael, for the Beta Israel. Each one was for the who? Was for the house of his fathers. Not that they were what their fathers are. No, they stood for the patriarch's house, as we stand.
These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers.
Each one was for the house of his fathers.
Each one was for the house of his fathers, 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 for the house of his fathers. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel, 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 with all that were able to go forth to war and go forth to war in Israel, forth to war in Israel, forth to war in Israel, with all that were able to go forth to war and go forth to war in Israel, 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 to war in Israel.
Go forth to war in Israel, and the context is not to war, fight among themselves. Like when people misunderstand the translation there, but they was to go forth to war on behalf of the Beit Yisrael, on behalf of the house of Israel, those 20 years and up. So when they heard the lying spies, the 10 spies come back, they got scared. They wanted to go back to Egypt. They wanted to fight for I guess, Egypt or whatnot. But that's the context right there. Here. Fourth book, Bamidbar. Here for today's Aliyah, for the third day of the Shabua. Here for the T to T, Testified Tuesday.
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong. And here, for the Shalishi, the third Aliyah, Shalishi Aliyah offering up for this Shabbat Bamidbar, for this Senbet Midre Beda, this Sabbath in the wilderness. Why Daber Yahweh El Moshe, El Aharon Leimor. Here for the third Aliyah, third offering up, Anaphora. Fourth book of Moshe, Hebrew book of Numbers, Numbers chapter 2. Numbers chapter 2, the order of the host. The second item, arrangement of the camp, here for the Shalishi Aliyah. And the Yahweh spake to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, every man of the children of Yisrael shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house, their father's bait, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation, the aggregation, shall they pitch. And on the east side, toward the rising of the sun, shall they of the standard of the camp of Yehuda, Judah, pitch throughout their armies. And Nahashon, the son of Aminadab, shall be captain of the Bnei Yehuda, the children, the sons of Judah, and his hosts, and those that were numbered of them were 314,600. And those that do pitch next to him shall be the tribe of Issachar, and Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, shall be captain of the Benai Issachar, the sons, children of Issachar. And his hosts and those that were numbered thereof were 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children, the Benai Zebulun, the sons of Zebulun, and his hosts, and those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. All that were numbered in the camp of Yehuda were 100,000 and 6,400 throughout the armies. These shall first set forward. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben according to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elizur, the son of Shedeur, and his hosts and those that were numbered thereof were 46,500. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon, and the captain of the Benai Simeon shall be Shelumiel, the son of Zori Shaddai, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the Benai Gad, the sons of Gad, shall be Eli Asaph, the son of Reuel, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 45,650. All that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 100,050 and 1,450 throughout their armies, and they shall set forward in the second rank. Then the tabernacle, verse 17, then the tabernacle of the aggregation shall set forward with the camp of Halloween, the Levites, the Lewawian, in the midst of the camp. As they encamp, so shall they set forward, every man in his place by their standards. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim, according to their armies. And the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Amihud, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 40,500. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the Benai Manasseh, the children, the sons of Manasseh, shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 32,200. Then the tribe of Binyam, and the captain of the Benai Binyamin, the sons of Benjamin, shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 100,000 and 8,000 and 100 throughout their armies, and they shall go forward in the third rank. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies, and the captain of the Benai Dan, the sons of Dan, the children of Dan, shall be Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, and his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher. And the captain of the Bani Asher, the sons, the children of Asher, shall be Pagiel, the son of Okran. And his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 40,1,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the Bani Naphtali, the sons, the children of Naphtali, shall be Ahira, the son of Enan. And his hosts and those that were numbered of them were 53,400. All they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,050 and 7,600. They shall go hindmost with their standards. These are those that were numbered of the Bnai Yisrael, the sons, the children of Yisrael, by the Beit, the house of their fathers, their patriarchs. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. But, however, Halloween, the Levites, the Lewim, the Lewawian, were not numbered among the Bnai Yisrael, among the sons, the children of Yisrael, as Jehovah commanded Moses. And the Bnai Yisrael, the children of Israel, did according to all that the Yahweh commanded Moses, Moshe. So they pitched by their standards, and so they set forward everyone after their families, according to the Beit, the house of their fathers, their patriarch.
Yes, the house of the Father, right there. Very, very interesting. This fourth book right here, the beginning, and some of the misinterpretations among some of the other camps of Israelites as to what is really being said right here. Basically, foundation, groundation in the holy place. And you heard that before in the Jah Army tune. Yeah, foundation, the groundation in the holy place, each one camping by their particular signs, the tribe of Levi, not being included in that. And that's one of the reasons that once they get the land, eventually the next generation get the land, they enter into the land. The command concerning the income, the tithes, and those things from the land, the produce of the land and the animals of the land, that portion is given to the priests because of their function and because of the foundation in the holy place. Hear this tune, a Rhema tune, Jah Army. That verse there, foundation, groundation in the holy place.
So your body.
Yes, sir. Good.
We are soldiers in Jah Army. We are soldiers in Jah Army. Hear that? I say, foundation in the only place. Rasta man with a run rat race. Hail of the King of Kings with grace. Give Jah all your thanks and praise. That is my fortune and my fame. Never sell out to do one thing. Loyally and I remain. I suggest you do the same. Again, foundation in the only place. Rasta man with a run and trace. Hail of the King of Kings with grace. Give Jah all your thanks and praise. That is my fortune and my fame. Never sell out to do one thing. Loyally and I remain. I suggest you do the same. We are soldiers in Jah Army. We are soldiers in Jah Army. We are soldiers in Jah Army. We are soldiers.
one but several of the team of us a federal issue by the Rasta general. Enemies I meet them funeral. We pick them individual cipher of them in a them visual Babylon time I reach a minimal. We conquer them subliminal. There is warfare in a physical and warfare in a spiritual. There is warfare in a digital and warfare in a chemical. Into Babylon marijuana me go check the Rasta medical. Them think them could that catch me off guard upon the mineral.
Show your face on the place, dog, man. Show the race and this girl. Them are no blessing, them is a curse from the mother womb. Don't I imagine army? A long time to be so them want me. Then a bag of flying fish want me, but them couldn't harm me. Steve Marley don't come on me. Chicago Mill, take it calmly, so me move like a snake. She took me and the earth shake. They couldn't get this check on me no fake. Them lock me in a jail. I talk about them not give me no bail. Me and my friend Josie Weir, man a soldier pound battlefield, man can't feel. Overstyle fresh wine feed them style steel. Them want me fishing but me ship just a sail. So the boat to glide over shark and whale. Over evil, goodness must prevail. Come genuine, no matter with your fear feel. The government and things you can prevail. Why you know this say on no whole plan fail. Me in as an army, a long time the truth of them want me. Then a bag of flying fish want me, but that could no harm me. Cause even money don't come on me. Chicago Mill, take it calmly. Well, who are the Reagan? Stand up and cannon. Outfitly shot, we only with one hand. Lion of Judah, conquering lion. Stand up on the wicked, them and show them who I am. Some a say them back, but make them know we have God. And if them have the snake, make them know we have the rod. And if them have poison, we have antidote. In a dance, and it's a soldier can't walk. Come in as an army. You think I know the people them want me, but God did run come want me. Say, take it calmly. You come on the boy, them a swarm me. Easy government, easy man.
We are soldiers in the army. We are soldiers in the army. We are soldiers in the army. We are soldiers in the army.
Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth. Oh, sing praises unto the Lord. Selah. Let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah, Yah.
Selassie I the first. There's not a militancy. Both them. That's how me want them. Territory. Tell them not to cross me territory. Help somebody, I go really sorry. Ain't no joke about that. Yeah. Territory. Tell them not to cross me territory. Help somebody, I go really sorry. Ain't no joke about that. Yeah, yeah. Not true, you still will look so easy. Yeah. Sure, I always come all the time, yeah, yeah. But Babylon system not this way, no. So this is where we draw me line, oh God, yeah. Territory, tell them not to cross me territory. Help somebody, I go really sorry. Ain't no joke about that, yeah. Territory. Tell them not to cross me territory. Tell somebody I got really sorry. Ain't no joke about it. Yeah, yeah. Silent river is a killer. Yeah. So me
me not underestimate no one, no. Don't judge a book before you discover. Oh. Cause in the faith of Jah me stand strong, yeah. Territory, tell them not to cross me territory. Tell somebody I'm really sorry. Ain't no joke about that, yeah. Territory, tell them not to cross me territory. Tell somebody I'm really sorry. Ain't no joke about that, yeah, yeah. Life is one big road with a lot of time. Oh, yes, you gotta see if you're not blind. Oh, oh, yeah. So, brother man, read between the lines. Oh, gosh, yeah. You gotta go for yours, I gotta go for mine. Oh, territory. Tell them not to cross me territory. Tell somebody I'm really sorry. Ain't no joke about that, yeah. Territory. Tell them not to cross me territory. Tell somebody I'm really sorry. Ain't no joke about that, yeah, yeah.
Yes. I tuned there by Jakure, Territory. That's what this Torah reading and feeding right here by Midbar is essentially all about right here. This is what this excursion with the Israelites, it's preparing them to inherit the land. Interesting, the Hebrew sense of inheritance, it's like, it's not passive. This is why there's a census count right here as we pick up with the fourth book of Moshe, Hebrew book known as Bamidbar, right, concerning that territory. Also with Shabuot and harvest. How can you have a harvest if you don't have no land? With your harvesting right there. So first things first, out of the connection between Shabuot, getting ready for the harvest, even here, in the Brit Chadash sense, counting the growth of the Holy Spirit, the fruit of the Holy Spirit in I. So shalom, chaverim, shalom. So it's been kind of busy and active, these Shabuots right here. Here, this Shabuah here is the 5th. We have after this Shabuah here, we're in the 3rd day as of this recording here for 2024. Then we have 2 more Shabuot, right? 2 more weeks till we get to the Shabuot, till we get to the Feast of Weeks. So for I, according to the royal order, we see when Pentecost or harvest is fully come, corresponds to June 23rd of June 2024. There's others based on their counting. They're looking at Tuesday, June 11th. As we mentioned before, not to get into the details as we have elaborated on it. Why do we count different? It's based on what does the Torah say. It says on the morrow after the Shabbat. So a morrow after Shabbat, and counting the 7 Shabbats, that means tomorrow must be the first day, a.k.a., in other words, Sunday, what's called by the Gentile Sunday, the first day. Yes, according to HaTorah, there is a first day observation, right, after the Shabbat on the next day, tomorrow after the Shabbat. We have that with the first fruits. This also corresponds to the reason that Yeshua HaNotzri, right, was found risen on that first day after the Shabbat day, right, after the Shabbat day, fulfilling 3 days and 3 nights. Not the way many ones and ones count, according to other denomination of Christianity. But that's neither here nor there, because as Moshiach says, it is written. Have you not read what is written? So some don't choose to really read and study what is written. But here, looking forward to the Feast of the Holy Spirit, the upper room of Zion, the Feast of the Holy Spirit, a.k.a. Pentecost, 50th day. Where do we get that? Leviticus chapter 23. Chapter 23, verses 11 to 20 something. Just read through. Look for the key words. Morrow after the Shabbat. So the Shabbat is the 7th day, which is called Saturday. The morrow must be the first day. That's why we shake our head and say, well, how can they say that, other Yehudi, even Hebrew for Christians, they say, well, it's on Tuesday or this day or that day, when the Torah clearly says, this is why the New Testament Acts of the Apostles said when Pentecost is fully come, not just a technical count, but also when it begins. So if it begins right, if it begins from the morrow after the Shabbat, that means the first day, aka Yom HaRishon, or also called Ehud, the first day in the Ethiopic, Sunday, called by the Gentiles. If it begins then it's an easy count of first day to Shabbat day, first day to Shabbat day, first day, do that 7 times 7. And then it says on the morrow after, that's plus 1 day, right? So for I and I, when Pentecost is fully come, right, or the harvest is fully come, here in this season, this year, 23rd of June, right, 23rd of June, based on the resurrection day being the same day as the return of the King on the solar calendar, May 5th, this year, this sequel, this cipher here, May 5th, right? So for May 5th, 2024, counting those 7 Shabbats complete, June 23rd right here. So we have a busy couple of weeks, Shavuot, ahead of us. First, we start reading the 4th book of HaTorah, of Yah's direction instructions, known Hebraically as the Sefer Bamidbar, or called the Book of Numbers, or the book in the wilderness, Sefer Bamidbar, Sefer Bamidbar, Book of Numbers. Secondarily, some Yehudi honor the Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, right? And according to those who do honor it, they say it commemorates the prophetic reunification of Jerusalem and establishment of the so-called state of Israel, control over the old city in June 7th, 1967. Because of our Godfather and King of Kings, we basically abstained from that. But an interesting thing, we saw, so wait, His Majesty went to Jerusalem, did he or did he not, before going to plead with the nations, the League of Nations? It says he will plead with the heathen, plead with the Goyim, plead with the Gentiles, plead with the League of Nations. And so I said, when was that? That was May 8th, 1936. Now, of course, we're past that time here on the calendar, but we like to propose the King of Kings Jerusalem Day, commemorating May 8th, right? May 8th, or the nearest date to that, preferably the Shabbat Eve, because May 8th, 1936, when the anointed King of Kings, Kedemah Haile Selassie, right, and the royal family and the other Ethiopians entered into Jerusalem, and he went to pray, and you should know the rest. We'll go into that right there. But anyway, we propose that right there for Jerusalem Day, right, because that's very significant what occurred then and true biblical prophecy, right? So basically, we kind of we don't scratch that, if others choose to honor that. We choose to honor the way, the truth, and life of the King of Kings and the Moshiach Yeshua in Christ, right there. Because if you go back to 1967, let me just bring this up since we are speaking on this, doing some notes right here as was coming forward to this reasoning here. Let's see if we can find, there's a screenshot that was interesting. We took a snap of this, and it says this right here. It says relations were severed in 1973 following the October 1973 Yom Kippur War, right? And interestingly enough, we see that they sought to overthrow the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, right, about a year later in 1974. Here before us, we have a picture that shows Godamawi Negus and Neges, His Imperial Majesty, arriving in Jerusalem on May 8th, 1936. And then we said, what day in the week was that? That was a Good Friday. right? That was a Good Friday. That was a Friday Eve. So we propose May 8th for our own Jerusalem Day, King of Kings Jerusalem Day, or the nearest the Shabbat Eve to that. So if May 8th, 1 week is like in the middle of the week, right? We still note that, but you don't have a gathering leading into that Shabbat time as he entered into the old city of Jerusalem during that Sabbath time. What's also very interesting is that hostilities, that were going on between the Roman Catholics and the King of Kings, Benito Mussolini and the fascists and the King of Kings. Also, let's see if we have this right here. It's in one of these notes right here. It said the hostilities also between the Khazars, Yehudi, and between the Palestinians had broke out, right around that same time. Coincidence, prophecy, revelation. Put that on the beamer right there. Finally, right, we have the month of Siwan right here that begins right in this season, this time right here, according to the lunar calculation on the 5th day, called Thursday, June 6th, according to the Gregorian calendar at sundown. Now, this heralds the month, the moon, right, and the conclusion of the counting of the Omer, the 49-day count from the. See, they say the day following Passover. Day following Passover is the first day of unleavened bread, and because of some rabbinical and other scholarly tradition, they say, well, that is a Shabbat day. But from studying Torah, the Torah doesn't say that's a Shabbat day. It basically says from the morrow after the Shabbat day. If you read Leviticus chapter 23, you'll see there are 7 main feasts and festivals. But before all 7, the first of all the feasts and festival Moedim appointments is the Shabbat. And then in the midst of the giving of the feasts and festivals, it says from the first fruits would occur on the morrow after the Shabbat. Now, this is all during the feast and festival time, right? And then it says begin to count from that time after the Shabbat. If we follow what they say, right, it's on the day after, or it's the day following Passover, according to a misread of Leviticus chapter 23, verses 15 and 16. If we follow that, then when we come out of the holy season, out of the Passover, Pesach season, how are we counting, as the Torah says, from the morrow after the Shabbat? You see what I'm saying? Because if you say, well, that the first day of unleavened bread is like a Shabbat. Well, we agree, it is like a Shabbat. It says no servile work, but it does not specifically say that that is a Shabbat, and we should understand that there is the weekly Sabbath, the annual Sabbath, that continues in season during the time of the feasts and festivals, and out of season after the 7th month, when the 7th of the 7 feasts and festivals of Tabernacle. So it makes more direct sense, according to how the Torah is written, that is the morrow after the weekly Shabbat, because then when the holy season of Pesach is done, and we still are counting to the 4th of the 7 feasts and festivals, we still are using the order that he has given us from the beginning, right, with the 7 days, Shabbat being the 7th day, the morrow after the first day, that they call Sunday, beginning the next count. That's why he says, and it concludes on the morrow after what? The morrow after the 7th Shabbat. So I don't know how they could say like Tuesday. You know, when they say Tuesday, what is it, Tuesday? Which day they say? They say it's Tuesday. Where's the note right there? Which day they said? Okay, Tuesday the 11th. Well, it's Tuesday the 11th, right? Or Monday the 10th, or Wednesday the 12th. Is that a Shabbat day? Cray. But I hope and pray that ones like John J. Parsons and others can see that truth for themselves, and I hope that the co-laborers that understand the reasoning here can even help to simplify it, the reasoning. We try to go full so that, others can, zoom in, be more laser beam. Just give you the full light right here. So Leviticus chapter 23, check it. So the first 5 days, right, it is said, according to ancient tradition and looking at Torah, the first 5 days of this month, this moon, Siwan, it anticipates the day that the Torah was given to Yisrael at Sinai, at Har Sinai. Now, how do we know that if that is tradition, that there's some truth to that tradition? Well, by studying HaTorah. That's why where all things can be kind of weighed. There's some things in tradition which are correct, but there's other things in tradition which are not. Right? This is why Moshe Rabbeinu Yeshua, he said, have you not read? And he would point, right, as a good teacher of Torah, to the revealed word, right, and to the spirit of the word. But we know that because when you look through the Torah from the Exodus, it gives time markers. There are time markers. Sometimes the translator brings out things that you might not be able to, identify. But in studying the Hebrew, there are time markers of time, right? We know how many days it was. Basically, it was 7 Shabbats after the Exodus that they reached Har Sinai. Right? So therefore, as we reach this moon, this month right here, the Hebrew month of Sivan or Sivan, it anticipates the day that HaTorah was given to the Beta Israel at Har Sinai. And some have narrowed down that day roughly to what they say the 6th of Sivan. And this, some say, would mark, the 7 weeks, right? 49 or so days after the Exodus, the Yetziat, Mitzrayim, from the Tawi, from the 2 lands that they call ancient Egypt. So in light of all this, I hope to share some things related to both the Torah reading and feeding for this Shavua right here, as we pick up and begin here, the 4th book, a new book of HaTorah, Chazak, Chazak, Wanit Chazek, be strong, and make I be strengthened, be strong, Chazak, Chazak, Wanit Chazek, and may we be encouraged, may we encourage one another. The significance of Yerushalayim. What is the significance of Ira Salam, Yerushalayim to Ayanai? As disciples and followers of Ha'adon Yeshua, the King of Kings Christ, as well as the Moed, right? The Moed, the appointed time, feast, festival, holy season of Shavuot. That's known as harvest. Literally, Shavuot is weeks. Shavua or Shavua means week, and Shavuot means weeks. So that's where the older name, the feast, the more proper name, actually, the Feast of Weeks, which is a harvest feast in the New Covenant. They give it a name, Pentecost, Pentecost, referring to the 50th day. 49 days, tomorrow after, plus 1 day, 49 plus 1, 50. So here, looking forward, we have a little bit more than 2 Shavuos till the morrow after the Shabbat, namely June 23rd of June. So hopefully be the second part of the After the Shabbat podcast, first part, and second part, the first day service, the Sunday service, 23rd of June, 2024. May Yahweh Eloheinu show I his grace as I study Torah, his direction, instruction, and review, its significance as written upon our heart in HaMoshiach Yeshua. A couple of verses right here. Jeremiah 31:31. If it's the Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 16. Jeremiah 32 and 40. I'd like to share this right here. The New Covenant. Interesting that the only place that the New Covenant is written in the Old Covenant, overtly and specifically, is in Jeremiah, Yeremiah, Ermias in the Ethiopic, Ermias, Yeremiah in the Hebrew, 31:31. Jeremiah 31:31. So people say, well, New Covenant, that's some New Testament thing. That's not the Tanakh. You say Jeremiah 31:31. The Brit Hadasha, verse 31. Behold, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, Jehovah, when I will make a Brit Hadasha, a new covenant, a renewed covenant with the Bait Yisrael, with the Beta Israel, the house of Israel, and with the Bait, with the Beta Yehuda, with the house of Judah. So they're there. Epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 16. We're reading from the English, the ESV, the English Standard Version here. Verse 16 says, this is the Berit, this is the covenant that I will make with them. After those days, declares Yahweh, I will put Torotai, my instruction, my laws, on in their hearts, and write them on in their minds. And lastly but not leastly, Jeremiah, Jeremiah again, Jeremiah 32 and 40, verse 40. I will make with them an everlasting and eternal covenant, a covenant to time indefinite, that I will not turn away from doing good to them. I will put the fear, or more better, reverence, respect of me in their hearts, that they may not turn from me, that they may not turn from I. So right here, these particular verses into this, ve'imru, and y'all say Amen. And I admit, have true and faithful witness in this. So here, this brings us here to this Torah reading and feeding. We've shared some of the audio. Going to go through some more of the detail. Of course, we have a psalm right here. And today's daily psalm, according to the royal order, we have Psalm 61. Psalm 61 here. Reason for the season, today's daily psalm. Give me a moment, brothers and sisters and brothers. Yes, I, Rastafari. All right. Just a little technical on the board right here. But what we're going to do right here, give me one moment. I got about 8 minutes right here. Once again, today's daily psalm is 61, but let's go over the evening psalm. This stubwise right here. Let's see what's going on with this board. And I'm about to go through verse by verse right here. Psalm 61, about, was it 8 or 9 verses right here? But here we have the evening psalm.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור לאסף. אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל, בקרב אלוהים ישפוט. עד מתי תשפטו עוול, ופני רשעים תישאו סלע. שפטו דל ויתום, עני ורש הצדיקו. פלטו דל ואביון, מיד רשעים הצילו. לא ידעו ולא יבינו, בחשיכה יתהלכו, ימותו כל מוסדי ארץ. אני אמרתי, אלוהים אתם, ובני עליון כולכם. אכן כאדם תמותון, וכאחת השרים תיפולו. קומה אלוהים, שפטה הארץ, כי אתה תנחל בכל הגויים.
Psalm 82.
מזמור פ"ב, מזמור לאסף.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty.
אלוהים ניצב בעדת אל.
He judgeth among the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods.
בקרב אלוהים ישפוט.
How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations, 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 inherit all nations. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אדוני אחד. אדוני אחד. אדוני אחד.
Yes. So quick preview here for today's daily psalm, coming forward. But a quick preview right here for this beginning of the fourth book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Bamidbar, in the wilderness. So there was a note from the previous psalm that really would go in well right here. When it speaks about the harvest hymn psalm, previous psalm, I think it was Psalm 65, the harvest hymn, it had a final note concerning wilderness, right? The wilderness, I think it was in verse, that'll be verse 12, I guess in the KJV. The pastures of the wilderness do drop, and the hills are girded with joy. The Hebrew midbar does not always denote barren soil, but may signify, and often does, open tracts of country as distinct or different from cultivated land. To that, cattle are driven for pasture. So cattle are driven in like the open tracts, like the open tracts of country, as opposed to those parts of land where the plow has gone in, cultivated. Here too, the effects of the rain are noticeable. So here, when it says that Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the wilderness, some bring it out as the desert. Now there's a different Hebrew word, the araba, which has more of an idea of like an arid, dry sense. So we should not think of the wilderness as being completely like a desert place, but by Midbar, there's being open tracts. Remember, they had cattle. Imagine you have a bunch of cattle in the desert and there's nothing for the cattle. You see what will happen? So here the first words right here for the 34th sabbatical study, this Shabbat Strong, by Midbar. Picking up with Numbers chapter 1, the A part of the verse. Why daber Yahweh El Moshe be Midbar Sinai be Ohel Moed. Here, and Yahweh spoke to Moses. Why daber? Wa yedaber together. Why daber Yahweh El Moshe to Moses. Be Midbar. Interesting Midbar right there. The Midbar, the desert. It's interesting because the word Midbar at its root, it has dabar. Dabar means as a noun, the word, and as a verb, it means to speak, right? But the Midbar Sinai, the wilderness of Sinai. Be in Ohel, in tent Moed, in the tent of the meeting, in the tent of the appointment. Waidaber Yahuwah el Moshe b'midbar, b'midbar Sinai, b'ohel moed, b'ohel moed. So what do we have right here? Torah reading overview, quick overview right here, basic, as we beginning this important fourth book here. For this Shavua, Parshat Bamidbar, it begins the book called the Book of Numbers, Sefer Bamidbar, where the narrative begins. What's of interest is that the narrative here in the fourth book, as we begin the fourth book, it begins precisely where the book of Exodus left off. So what we have with the third book, the heart, the Leviticus, the Sefer Vayikra, right, is the instructions given concerning the holy place, concerning the Mishkan, the tabernacle, concerning the Lewim, the Levites, and specifically concerning the Kohanim and the Moshiach, Kohen Gadol, the anointed high priest, and the fellow anointed ones, his sons, the priests. And there we have kind of a shadow of the Brit Hadasha right there. But this book here, Parashat Bamidbar, the narrative begins precisely exactly where the Sefer Shemot, the book of the names called the book of Exodus, left off. That is with the kavod, the glory of Yahuwah, as it were, hovering over the Mishkan, the tabernacle, as the Bnei Yisrael, sons of Israel, the Israelites, were stationed at Har Sinai, at Mount Sinai. Here, the connection with Exodus chapter 40, verse 38, and here, Numbers chapter 1, verse 1. On the first day of the 13th month, following the Yetziat, the Exodus, the exiting, Mimitzrayim, from the two lands of Tawi, exactly 30 days after the tabernacle, the Mishkan was first consecrated. We could say completed, set up, and first consecrated, set apart. Yahweh Eloheinu, Aina Elohim, commanded Moshe to take a census, like a head count, of all the Bnei Yisrael males, of all the males over 20 years of age who would bear arms, who would be required to bear arms. Moshe and the Rashim, the heads, the Rases of each tribe recorded the results with, according to HaTorah, 603,550 men. 603,550 men in all, Manda. This number did not include the Halloween, the Levites, the Lewim. However, since they were designated to take care of the Mishkan, right, during the journeys, during the tribe, Yahweh Eloheinu, Ana Elohim, then gave instruction, Torot, about how the Bnei Yisrael, the Israelite camp, was to be arranged and organized. The Mishkan, the tabernacle, occupies a central location, therefore, like in the Ja'amitun, foundation in the holy place. And when we look at like a kind of a ground plan, it almost bears like a plus sign. It looks like a plus sign, or the ancient, the true cross, right? The unilateral cross, the plus sign, right? That's how the camp looked from a heaven view, with the tabernacle, the holy place, occupying the central location, foundation in the holy place, with three clans, three of the clans, Mishpachot, of the Halloween, the Levites, surrounding it on the north side, the south side, and the west side. Moshe and Aharon and Aaron's tents were placed before the entrance on the east side. The 12 other tribes were divided into 4 groups of 3. All of the tents of the Bnei Yisrael, the Israelites, the Beta Israel, were to face HaMishkan on every side. This camp formation was to be strictly maintained while traveling through the Midbar, throughout the Midbar, the wilderness. Now, each tribe had its own Nasi. Nasi in the Hebrew say prince. They had Rases or Rosh, Rashim, heads, but they each wanted to have its own prince, Nasi, right? And its own flag, Degel, flag, whose color corresponded with the color of its respective stone in Aharon's Hoshen, his breastplate, according to Exodus chapter 28, verses 15 to 21. For example, Judah's stone, was said to be a sky blue carbuncle, and therefore the color of his flag, it said, was like the color of the sky with a fiery lion, a fiery RDA, right? Fiery lion on Bessa embroidered upon it, referred to the Baraka of the patriarch, Genesis 49 and 9. Now the portion here, it ends with a census, a head count of the three sons of Lewi, B'nai Lewi, namely Gershon, Kohat, and Merari. The Gershonites were to maintain the inner tent of the Mishkan of the tabernacle and were to be located on the west side of the courtyard. The Kohatites of Kohat, they were to maintain the furnishings of the Mishkan, such as the Aron HaBrit, the Ark of the Covenant, HaMenorah, etc., etc., etc. Was it Terefe? And they were to be located on the south side of the courtyard. And the Merarites of Merah, they maintained the frames and the pillars of the Mishkan, and they were located to the north of the courtyard. Finally, though the sons of Aaron, the B'nai Aharon, although they were descendants of Kohath, they were set apart. They were set apart to serve as Kohanim, as the priests, as the anointed Moshiach, Kohanim. And they were located before the gate into the Mishkan to the east side, the gates. So the tabernacle was orientated from east to west, entering to the east and facing the west. And right there at that entrance gate also was the tribe of Yehuda, the tribe of Judah. So they're just getting a brief, basic overview, of what this Torah reading and feeding is about. Each one was to, pitch and stand for the house of their fathers, to rep their patriarchal houses, because the land grant, so they would put in the work, right, to acquire, inherit the land, right? And therefore, this is like, the faith with work, right? But here.
Here we have today's daily psalm. We have
Psalm 61.
מזמור סמך א' למנצח על נגינת לדוד.
Hear my cry, O God, O God, O God.
שמעה אלוהים רינתי.
Attend unto my prayer, my prayer, my prayer, my prayer.
הקשיבה תפילתי.
From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows, 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 my vows.
Interesting right there, performance of vows here. Looking at the Royal Order Psalms here in the season, here we have Mizmor Samek Aleph. Hebraically, alphanumerically, Samek, Hebrew letter that stands numerically for 60, and Aleph, Aleph for 1. Samek Aleph. Here, Psalm LXI, Psalm 61. And here we have a prayer, here we have a tefillah begalut. Tefillah, a prayer in exile. A prayer in exile. Here. Today's daily psalm, we have a prayer in exile. There's also another theme, Chavarim, here for today's daily psalm, a prayer and thanksgiving, tefillah and todah of an expelled king, on his way back or his way forward to the throne. Secondary title right here, a prayer, tefillah, a prayer in exile, and a prayer in thanksgiving of an expelled melech or king, a negus, even negus neges, on his way back, his way forward to the throne. Here, today's daily psalm. So a petition. What we have here is a petition to Yahweh Eloheinu, Aina Elohim, for restoration. In today's daily psalm, Mizmor Samek Aleph, Psalm 61. A petition to Elohim for restoration is offered by a person away from his home. David, even Dawid HaMelech, David the king, Negus Dawid, his situation gives point to the psalm. Even the greater David, the greater son, even Kadamah Haile Selassie, his situation also gives, as David's situation gave, point to the Mizmor and also helps to explain it. It is best assigned, it is said, it is best assigned to the period, Davidically, of Absalom's, his revolt. Right here, today's daily psalm, Psalm 61, Mizmor Samek Aleph. So what do we have here? In the first to third verse, we have an appeal for help, In verses 4 to 5, we have confidence, surety in Elohim. In verses 6 to 7, hopes, expectation for the king's HaMelech's future, for the Negus, even Negus and Neges future. And in verse 8, we have his gratitude, Einai gratitude to Yahweh Eloheinu, hallelujah, our gratitude. So here, picking up on verse by verse, today's daily psalm. Of course, we like to begin with the superscription that's often left out. Right, it's in the better Bibles, but often it's not even given voice to. So some of our remixes will have Abraham Shemulov. We have him reading that introduction part. That's often left out. The KJV Bible will be to the chief musician upon Negina. It says in the English, to chief musician upon Negina. And you'll see where it says a psalm of David, the words a psalm being italicized, more Hebraically, of David. To the chief musician upon Negina of David. Including the first verse here. Hear my cry, O God, O Elohim. Attend to my prayer. So here, opening superscription. La menatzeach al niginot. Now, some here read this as niginat, right? Niginot. What do we have here? The KJV has negina. Negina is like music, niginat, right? With the female terminal, the tau, right? Music song, right? Music song. It can also be a type of a taunt, or even in the sense of mocking song. But it's a certain type of a song, an epigram, a poem, right? In some places where it says benigino, to sound like bingi notes. But here we have al negina in the sense of la menatzeach al neginot, on string music. Some say with string music, or like the harps, the string music. Le Dawid of David. Hear my cry. Shema'ah. Elohim, hear my cry. Shema, hear. Elohim, Almighty Power. Rinati. Shema, Elohim, Rinati. Hear my Rina. Hear my Rina. Hear my ringing cry. Hear my entreaty supplication. Hear my proclamation of joy, of praise. Hear my shrill sound, my shout, whether in joy or grief. Hear my cry. Shema, Elohim, Renati. Hak Sheba, Tifilati. Hak Shiva, Hak Shiva. Hak Sheba, attend. Hak Sheba from Kashab, Kashab. Kashab means like to hear, but it's like hearing in a sense of being very attentive. The root sense of the Kashab and Hak Sheba, right, is like to prick up the ears. That is to hearken, in that sense, to attend, right, to attend. So here, having this opening verse, including the superscription, Lament ala niginot lidawi, Shima'ah Elohim Rinati, Hak Sheba Tifilati, Hak Sheba, attend to, prick up your ears to hear, Hak Sheba Tifilati, to my tefillah, Tifilati. So my cry, my cry, my cry. We also have this in Psalm 16, actually Psalm 17 and 1. Psalm 17 and 1. Let's just go there quickly right here, just to, study, to show ourselves approved here a little, there a little. All right, Psalm 17, all right, see what it says, 17. It says, hear the right, O Yahuwah, attend to my cry, attend to my cry. Hak Sheba, here we have Hak Sheba, attend to Rinati, Hak Sheba Rinati, give ear to my prayer, right, from lips without deceit. Here, give ear to my prayer, to Filati, from lips without deceit, without guile. So the Hebrew signifies a shrill, Rinati, and a piercing sound, Rinati, Rina, Rina. Rina is a sound, Rinati, right, is my Rina, my shrill, my piercing sound rung from the heart. This can be expressive either of joy or suffering, either of joy or pain. Rinati. Shema Elohim, Rinati. Hak Sheva, Tifilati. Here to the bait verse, to the second verse, the bait verse, KJV, that reads, from the end of the earth will I cry to thee, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Another way of reading this is from the end of the land. Even from the end of the land will I cry to the eye. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead I to the rock higher than I. Here. Miksei, me from Kitsei. Miksei haaretz, from the end of the land. From the end of the earth, the end of the land. Miksei haaretz, eleika, to the I male. Ekra, I cry, I call out, even call out by name. Ekra, ba itof libi, when my heart is fainted, in a sense, overwhelmed. It has ataf. Ba itof is like turned aside. It can be like to envelop yourself, but it also has a sense of to be feeble, to be faint. Right, to be shrouded in a sense, be feeble, faint. KJV has is overwhelmed. Hebraically, we can say, when my heart fainted. Ba itof libi, my heart ba itof. In atofing my heart libi, ba itof libi, bitsor yarum, bitsor, the rock, yarum, the rock that is Yarum. Room means like to rise up, to be lofty, right? the rock that is in the rock that is lifted up. Mimeni, 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 mimeni from ani from I, mimeni, that is lifted up in the rock, right, by way of the rock that is lifted up from I. Tanacheni, 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 guide or lead, nahani, tanacheni, speaking directly to he, tanache, ani, I, tanacheni, lead me or guide me, sense of lead me or guide me. Full of the verse, mikatzei haaretz eleka, ekra ba'et ofa libi, bitzur yaruma mimeni, tanacheni. What do we have here? From the end or the edge of the land, furthest part of the land, from the edge of the earth, from the ends of the earth, mikatzei, 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 the katzeh, katzeh is like the end, the extremity, almost like the borders, right? The extremity, the borders, like the frontier, in a sense. Mikatzei haaretz. Some have it from the edge of the earth, but in the Dawidic sense, it was more correctly from the borders of the land, the far off places, the end of the land. Because remember, Dawid had to go into exile, you know, on the borderline. We say the borderline. Think you're going to lose your mind. Mikatzei haaretz eleka, eleka to the eye, eleka. So we have from the end of the land. The psalmist does not mean that he finds himself in just a remote spot far from his home, but the context here is Jerusalem, the dwelling and the indwelling of Eloheinu, of Ha Elohim, is for him the center of the earth, right? So he's far off. He's on the edge of the land because he's far from that center. He measures his distance from it or from her, not by so-called miles, but by the intensity of his desire, his yearning to be there, I'll be there, right? To be there, where I am, where he says, I'm preparing a place where I am, you may be there too, to be there, in the place, the makom, where the visible pledges of Yahweh Eloheinu, Elohim's presence is, and were to be found. Remember, keeping this in the context of Lid Dawid, right, and episodes in his life where he had to kind of go into exile. Yes, so we have a rock that is too high, a rock that is too high. Another way of bringing this out is B'tzor Yarum Mimeni, B'tzor Yarum Mimeni, B'tzor in the rock, Yarum that is lifted up, Mimeni from me. Thou hast been a refuge. So that's coming up. A rock that is too high for I. A place of refuge, even in the sense of the Tzor, B'tzor, Yarum, Mimeni, a place of refuge inaccessible to him. If he has to depend on his own efforts and only to be reached with Eloheinu's guidance and protection and his guidance and assistance. You know, it's place me somewhere where I'm above all this fray, right? That is too high for I. So even on my own, I can't get there. But if you put me there, then I know they can't get to me there. So therefore, a rock that is too high for I. B'tzor Yarum Mimeni. Here, the bait verse again. Miksei haaretz eleka ekra ba'et ofa libi. B'tzor Yarum Mimeni. Tanacheni. Guide I and I. Here, the Gimel verse, the third verse right here. Third verse right here, KJV says, for thou hast been a shelter for me, for I, a strong tower from the enemy. Kia hayita machseli migadala oza mipane oyeb. Ki for hayita, the eye has been, the eye is higher, to be, here speaking to he who be, who you be. Ki hayita, ki for the eye has been, ki hayita machse, for you have been machse. Ki hayita machse. You have been a machse. You have been a refuge, a shelter, like from rain or storm or danger or falsehood. You've been a shelter from all of that and more. Ki hayita machse li. Machse, you have been li for me. Machse li. Ki hayita machse li. What's interesting here, he's speaking to he who be, who he be. Yahweh, Hawa. Haya, to be. Ki hayita. You have been, you become who you be who you be, become a machse li, becoming a shelter for me. Ki hayita machse li. Migdal oz, migdal. Migdal is like a tower, a migdal, right? Migdal, migdala, right? It has two forms, like sometimes a masculine and a feminine form. Migdal and migdala. Migdal, a tower, like an elevated stage. Could be a pulpit. Could also be, in a sense, a raised bed. But usually in this context, it's like a tower from its size and its height. By analogy, like a rostrum. In a figurative sense, like a pyramidal, a pyramid, but in ancient context, like a pyramidal bed of flowers, so to speak. A pyramid, a migdal, pyramid, a tower, figuratively like a rostrum, like a pulpit, so to speak. Migdal oz. But a migdal, what kind of migdal? Oz of strength, oz of might, of strength. Physical strength, might. Material strength, might. Personal oz, strength, might. Social and political oz, strength, might. Migdal oz. Mi penei, mi from penei, from the panim, from the face of. Mi penei oyeb, mi penei oyeb, right? Oyeb is like an enemy, whether it's a personal enemy or it's a national enemy. Oyeb comes from the root sense of like hating. Oyeb, right? You have Eob, Job. Think about the name for a moment. Oyeb, like a type of an adversary from the root, the Hebrew root. Oyeb is like the person that's like the enemy. And it comes from the verb ayab. Ayab means to be hostile to be an enemy to, or to treat one as an enemy, to hate as one of an opposite tribe or party, the sense of becoming hostile, right? Hostile and hostility. So the fuller verse right here, Ki hayita machseli, migdal oz, mipnei oyeb. Thou hast been a refuge for me. As so often in this type of Mizmor, psalm chant, recollection, recalling, remembering, calling to heart and mind of past grace and favor is made the ground of the ask, the plea, the appeal for guidance, protection, and for assistance in the present, in the right now, in the right now. Here, first three verses, the appeal for help. We have the opening appeal for help. Here in verses 4 to 5, we have the confidence, ifidence, godfidence, the surety in Elohim. Here, KJV, I will abide, this section begins with, I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. I will make my refuge. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. Agora be ahaleka. Olamim. Echese beseter kanafeka selah. Agora be ahaleka agora. I will abide agora from gor. Gor means to sojourn, to abide, to dwell in, to remain, like to inhabit. You know what I mean? Agora. I will abide. Be in ahaleka. In the eyes ahal or hell, in the eyes tent, in the eyes tabernacle, literally tent. Agora be ahaleka, agorabe ohaleka, olamim, olamim, olamim. Here we have olam, right? Long duration, antiquity, futurity, often translated as forever and ever. We like to bring out the sense of this till time indefinite. So the word for forever can be like forever present, or it could be forever past, or it could be forever future. But the direct Hebrew sense is like to time indefinite. Agora be ahaleka olamim. I will abide in thy tabernacle till time indefinite. Echese, echese. We had machse, shelter, here as a verb. Echese, echese, echese. I will, King James has trust, chasa, chasa, to seek refuge. Also, figuratively said to confide in the figure of it, to confide in. So in the previous said machse, a shelter, right? A trust, a shelter. Here as the verb, echese, I will trust, I will shelter, I will refuge. Echese, beseter, in the seter. Well, the seter is like a covering, a shelter. Directly, it's like a hidden place, a cover, a shelter. That which is hidden, the sense of secrecy is brought out right there. Echese, beseter, kanafeka, kanafeka, of the eyes, kanaf. Kanaf, wing, kanafeka, speaking to he who be, of thy wings, of thy wings. Echese, beseter, kanafeka. I will take refuge in the secret of your wings, in the hiding, in the cover, the covert of thy wings. Here. This section, confidence in Elohim. I will dwell in thy tent, thy tabernacle forever. Agora be ahaleka olamim. By some of the words are understood as a prayer. By some, the words here is understood as a prayer. I'm not saying I will do this, but this is the prayer. I'm saying, may I. Agora be'ahaleka olamim. May I dwell in thy tent, thy tabernacle till time indefinite. May I dwell. Make I take refuge. Tent, ahal, or ohel. In some point, ohel, ahal, be'ahaleka, be'oheleka. Tent is to be interpreted in a metaphorical sense, as we have in Psalm 15, roundabout verse 1, as implying the divine hospitality and protection, that he and I and we is always faithful, always sure and confident that he and I we will again enjoy for the rest of his and I liberty till time indefinite. Agora be'ahaleka olamim, covert of thy wings. Seter kanafeka, covert, covering of thy wings. Beseter kanafeka. We have this also in Psalm 57, roundabout verse 2, verse 1, verse 2. But here, to the hey verse, next verse in this section right here, confidence in Eloheinu. For thou, O Elohim, has heard my vows. Thou, the eye, has given the heritage of those that reverence, that respect thy name. Ki ata, for ki, because ata, the eye male. Ki ata Elohim, for the eye Elohim. Shamaita, the eye has heard. This is the past tense. Shamaita, also a prophetic sense. Shamaita, for the eye has heard. Ki ata Elohim, Shamaita. Lindarai, you have heard of my vows. You have heard to my vows. You have heard. In the sense of hearing, shama is also like to obey in a sense. You've heard, right, to my vows. You have heard my vows. Thou hast given the heritage, right? Natata, the eye has already given natata, Natata Yerushata Yir'eh Shemeka Yir'eh, those who reverence Yir'eh Shemeka, those who reverence the Hashem, even the Hashem, the I's name. Ki ata Elohim Shema'eta Lindarai Natata Yerushata Yir'eh Shemeka. Thou hast heard. Shema'eta, 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 Shema'eta. The verbs here in this verse may be the prophetic perfect. Directly, they are the past tense. You have already heard. But it's like saying you have heard it. I'm asking for it because you already heard it, so you already did it. So already praying as the act is already fulfilled in that sense of the prophetic perfect. But in Hebrew, one can look at this tense as a past tense. Shema'eta, Shema'eta, the eye has heard. The prophetic perfect. But it is better to receive this section, that this was written, some say, when the revolt had failed. Some look at this not so much as prophetic perfect, calling the action as already been completed, but that this being written when that revolt, right, by the revolters against King David had failed, right, and Dawid HaMelech was on the point of returning to Yerushalayim, to Jerusalem, to Jerusalem. He says, Nidarai, my neder, Nidarai. That formed part of his supplication, his ask to Yahweh Eloheinu. But they are not specified. So what exactly his Nedarim was is not specified here. All he says is, Ki ata Elohim Shema'eta Lindarai. For the eye, O Elohim, has heard. Shema'eta Lindarai. My Nedarai. My vows. So they're not specified here. However, doubtless they express his resolve, a vow. If you do this, then I will do that. His resolve to show gratitude, to show thanks and praise Todah for his restoration in some practical form, some practical way, some practical application. Thou hast granted the heritage. Thou hast granted the heritage of those that reverence, respect thy name. Natata, Yerushat. What do we have here? Yerushat. Possession, inheritance, something that is occupied. The literal sense of Yerusha in Yerushat. We have Yerushat, the heritage of Yir'eh, the reverences of Shemeka, of the I male name. Yerusha has the idea of something occupied and a conquest. Also, it has a sense of Yerusha, of patrimony, as we have in Bamidbar, as we have in the wilderness, Numbers chapter 1. The context right there is that those were those 20 years and above that had the faith, of course, in the covenant, now had to put in that work. And therefore, when they put in that work, they received the inheritance or the possession of the land. So therefore, something occupied, Hebraically, is a possession, an inheritance, something conquered, right? Also a patrimony. That means it stands for the fathers. We as the children are doing it for the fathers. So the Yerusha is a common designation for the Eretz Yisrael, for the land of Yisrael, the land of the Beit Israel. And here David, even Dawid HaMelech, even King David, he acknowledges that. And with the crushing of the rebellion, the rebel lions, the rebellion, they who reverence, who respected Elohim's, the Hashem, the name, by remaining loyal. Those who respected Yahweh's name, they remain loyal to his chosen and his anointed Melech, his chosen Negus, even Negus and Neges. They will have their share in it returned to them after it had been forfeited by refusal to join, in the case of the historical context of the Psalm, Absalom and the others who revolted against Dawid HaMelech. Interesting as we look at and learn about David and then see these instances in the life of Gurmawi Kadmawi Haile Selassie. It's really, you can't make this up. This is prophecy. Prophecy reveals. But here, this section here, verses 6 to 7. Hopes, right? The hopes for the king's future. The hopes for the king's future. Right here. Look at Ray Matun. Yes, I.
Psalm 61.
מזמור סמך א' למנצח על נגינת לדוד.
Hear my cry, O God, O God, O God.
שמעה אלוהים רינתי.
Attend unto my prayer, to my prayer, to my prayer, to my prayer.
הקשיבה תפילתי.
From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life, and his years as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare mercy and truth, which may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows, my vows, my vows, my vows, my vows, my vows, my vows.
מזמור סמך א' למנצח על נגינת לדוד. שמעה אלוהים רינתי, הקשיבה תפילתי.
Yes, right there. Great tune by Sister Rashida. Right, Sister Rashida here on Psalm 61. Hear my cry. Let me just mark this right here. Yes, I. Give me one moment as we complete today's daily psalm. Okay, confidence. Right, confidence, the last section right there. Confidence, always faithful, always sure. Confidence in Elohim. Yes, I, Rastafari. So here. Give me one moment. Yes. Okay, so the last part of today's daily psalm. So that was the opening two sections, plus the overview, the Tehillim, the overview, and here, in conclusion here, for today's daily psalm, a prayer, as its theme, a prayer in exile. Also a prayer of the return of the king from exile. So we even see where Dawid was in exile. In fact, if you look at his career more than one time, and it says many, the trials and tribulations of the righteous. But here, picking up with the 6th, right here at the 6th to the 7th verses, these two verses right here. Today's daily psalm, Mizmor Samek Aleph, Psalm 61 right here, a prayer in exile, Verse 6, KJV wise up first, it says, thou wilt prolong the king's life, his years as many generations. Thou shalt add days to the days of the king. The Hebrew sense of that, more better brought out in translation, would be, thou shalt add days to the days of the king. His years as many generations, more better as generation and generation. As generation and generation here, the Hebrew, Yamim Allah Yemeya Melech, Tosifa, She Notayo, Kamo Dor Wador, Dor Wador. There's a popular chant, Hebraically, they chant it as, Dor Vador, generation and a generation. Yamim, the days, Yamim, all upon Yemei, days of Melech, days upon the days of the king. Yamim, all Yemei Melech. Yamim, all Yemei Melech. Tosif. Thou will add Tosif. Tosif is interesting because we have Yosef. I remember Yosef's his mother, so to prolong or to increase, to add, a sense of doing again is Yasaf as a verb. Here, in speaking to the E directly, Tosif, mayest thou add days to the king's days. May thou add days to the king's days. Yamim al Yemeya Meleka Tosif. May his years be as many generations, or may his years be as generation and generation. Shenotayo, Komodor, Wador. So to the king's days, or in the Hebrew, al Yemei Melech, on, upon, above, upon, Yemei, the days of Melech, al Yemei Melech. Dawid is said to be speaking of himself in the third person because he thinks of his kingly office, his anointed kingly office, and not of himself as the individual. Did you get this? David is speaking of himself in the third person. We find this with Gormawi and Negusu Neges as well, that David is speaking of himself in the third person because he thinks of his kingly office, his anointed and kingly office, and not of himself as an individual or indivisible duo, individual. Some say, less probably, the two verses contain also here a tefillah, a prayer on his behalf by his faithful adherents. Others read in this that it's the people who say this, right? This is a tefillah on the behalf of the Davidic king by the faithful adherents. Accordingly, the rendering in the RV, the Revised Version, is, some say, to be preferred. And what's that rendering? The rendering in English that brings it out as, thou will add days. Thou will add days. His years shall be. He shall be enthroned or abide. The sense is, he shall be enthroned, coming up in the next verse. He shall abide. Yamim, all Yemei Melech Tosif. Shinotayo, Kamo, Dor, Wa, Dor. May his years be as many generations, or may his years be as a generation and generation, as generation and generation. Shinotayo, Kamo, Dor, Wa, Dor. May the years he yet lives equal in number the many generations that will follow in his dynasty, is one way of bringing out the expression here. If the words are not a petition, a she'ela, Dawid, he avows his assurance, given him by Elohim, through Natan HaNabi, through Nathan the prophet. In 2 Shemuel chapter 7, round about verse 16, 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 16, it reads, thy house and thy kingdom shall be made sure forever, till time indefinite before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. Thy throne shall be established forever. Yamim, all Yemei Melech Tosif. Shinotayo, Komodor, Wador. Here, bringing us forward here to the Zayn, 7th verse right here, the Zayn verse. He shall abide before Elohim, almighty power forever, to time indefinite. Oh, prepare mercy and truth. May they preserve him. May they preserve him, or may he be enthroned before Elohim forever to time indefinite. Appoint mercy and truth, that they may preserve him. Here the Hebrew, Yeshev Olam, Lifnei Elohim, Chesed Ve'emet, Man Yinatzeruhu, Man Yinatzeruhu. Here. May he be enthroned. May he abide. He shall abide. The word abide here is yashab. Yashab, to dwell, to remain, means like to sit. Literally to sit down. Sit down, specifically as a judge. It could be to sit down and ambush, to sit down and quiet. By implication, to dwell, to remain. In the causative sense of this yashab is to settle. And also can have a sense of to marry. But the more better context and connection with the king is Yesheb, like to be seated, that sense of being enthroned. Yesheb Olam. Olam to time indefinite, the sense of forever. Yesheb Olam Lifnei, to the face, in the face of, before the face of, in the presence of, Lifnei Elohim, in the face of Elohim. Chesed, mercy, loving kindness, an attribute of Yahweh Eloheinu, chesed, and emet, truth, reality. Chesed ve'emet, chesed ve'emet, man yinatzeruhu. Now, here is a very interesting, this word man. Man from mana. Man here is from mana. Mana is the verb to count, to reckon, to number, to assign, to tell. It can have a sense of to appoint. But mana as a verb in mana yinsaruhu is like to say, may they be weighed out, to weigh, to mana, to weigh, to allot, or to constitute. To constitute officially is to mana. Not like, the manna, you say manna, but mana here. Also to enumerate. The sense has a sense of to enumerate or to enroll. So when it's read, this is not often brought out in translation. Chesed ve'emet man yinatzeruhu. Besides bringing out the sense of may they yinatzeruhu is the verb there, but the sense of appoint, man. Chesed ve'emet man, appoint. Chesed ve'emet man, appoint. So it's like mercy and truth, appoint, like weigh out, measure. Chesed ve'emet man. Yinsaru, may they preserve who? May they preserve him. Yinsaru, come from Natsar. Title of Yeshua, Robenu, is Yeshua Hanotzri, the one who Natsar. Natsar, to guard, to watch, right? To guard in a good sense, to protect, to maintain, to obey, right? In a other sense is to conceal, right? To conceal. So here, Yesheb Olama Lifnei Elohim, Chesed ve'emet man yinsaru hu, before Elohim, before the Almighty Power, Lifnei Elohim, in the enjoyment of His favor, forever, olam, till time indefinite, His life continuing in His descendants. Mercy and truth, chesed ve'emet, may they be His guardian angels. It's almost like what is the idea. Chesed ve'emet man yinsaruhu, may they guard him, may they protect him. Yinsaruhu. We have this also in Psalm 57, round about verse 4, verse 3, verse 4. In the light of Proverbs chapter 20, verse 28, where it reads, mercy and truth, chesed ve'emet, preserve the king. Mercy and truth preserve the king. Chesed ve'emet, preserve the king. The supplication may be that Yahweh Eloheinu will help, will assist, will guide and protect him and his descendants and the royal, we say, dynasty to display these virtues during their successive reigns and rulership, so that the dynasty may deserve to be preserved. May the dynasty deserve to endure. Yesheb olama lifnei Elohim chesed ve'emet man yinsaruhu. Here. 8th verse here to fulfill today's daily psalm, Chet. We have the Chet, the 8th verse. Hebrew, the Chet, 8th verse. So will I sing praise to thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. So will I sing praise to thy name forever, till time indefinite, that I may daily perform thy vows. My vows. Here, Cain, Azamra, Cain. Cain has a sense of so, Cain. You know, Cain. Some say Khan, but really it's Cain. Cain, so, therefore, thus, Cain. Cain is like to set a right, agreement. Cain, so, Azamra, Zamar, to chant, like Mezmor, psalm, Mezmor, Azamra, Zamar, the same root in all those words there, to chant. Cain, Azamra, so I will chant Isis, Shimka, thy name, La'ad, it says forever, La'ad. Ad in Hebrew has a sense of perpetuity, continuing future. La for ad, for the continuing future, almost like in a time sense of going forward. Right? Cain Zamra Shimka. Yes, so I will chant thy name. Cain Zamra Shimka La'ad, forever, going forward. Le shall me, to make peace, shalom, to pay, le shall me, to complete, to pay, to fulfill, le shall me, nidarai, to fulfill my vows, my neders, nidarai, le shall me, nidarai, yom. Yom is day. So day repeated at the end. Yom. Say like day by day. Day. Interesting here, the Hebrew, same as the Ge'ez. Ge'ez also uses yom for day. So here, fulfillment verse. Cain Zamra Shimka La'ad, Lishalmi Nidarai. Yom. So will I sing. Cain Zamra. So will I chant. Although the sudden change to the first person is not uncommon, its occurrence suits the interpretation of the previous verses as David, the 6th verse, as David speaking of himself. Nidarai. What is Nidarai? As we had in verse 5, right? My vows. So the Targum, the interpretation, gives the Mizmor Samek Aleph, a national application. So from David, the indivisible dual, the individual, the king, we can apply this to I as the people, referring it to their captivity. And the paraphrase is this: then will I praise, chant Isis thy name. Then I will chant Isis thy name for all eternity when I pay my vows in the days of Yisrael, Israel's redemption, and in the day when King Messiah, Mashiach HaMelech, is consecrated, is anointed to be and become ruler. Cain Zamra Shimka La'ada, Lishalmiya Nidarai, Yom. Here. Fulfillment of today's daily psalm right here, and on the outro Psalm 61 here. Sister Rashida has a song right here. Psalm 61 song right here. Hear my cry, hear my cry, hear my cry. Yes, I, Rastafari. Yeah!
Live it.
Yes, Sister Rashida. This is the real psalm. It's working out the real psalm to music. Here, double Y. Yes, I.